Hey, Roger Martin here from Billings, Montana. I'm going to make some comments on what Beck said. Um, I think it's great that people can be civil, but I think it is also imperative that we need to stand up and say, knock it off. Don't be doing that crap. I haven't done anything wrong here. Control yourself. And it's also important for us to call people when they're not being civil, not just let them get away with it.
I, for one, am so sick and tired of hearing from the left that, oh my gosh, they've never experienced hatred like this. Nobody said a word when my family was assaulted in a park in New York. No one said a word. My daughter and I had always wanted to go see a Hitchcock film in the park. And so we did. And I just thought it was going to be fine. I just assumed that everybody was human still. Well, not in New York. And so my daughter and her then fiance and my wife decided to go to the park, and we just spread out a blanket, and we arrived, maybe a little bit early. People started to come, and this group behind us of these 20-somethings, women, believe it or not, they were quite aggressive. They threw wine on my wife. My wife knew that it wasn't an accident because we had security there, and they were able to see their Twitter feed and their Facebook feed where they were admitting what they were doing.
See, not only were they admitting what they're doing, but they're bragging about it. They need to be called on. They need to tell them to knock it off. He's got security. What about families that don't have security? It's unfortunate, so unfortunate that this stuff is going on. But we have to be wise and we have to be careful because there are areas that are not safe to conservative individuals or Christians in the United States and throughout the world.
I went to the park with, I think, one security agent. By the time we were done, I think we had four. We may have had six by the end. I finally leave towards the end of the movie. I want to get out of there before the movie is over, for obvious reasons, and I get up with my wife, and the entire crowd applauds that we leave. Now, that could have been, I could have, taken that, but not after you had assaulted my wife, not after my wife and my daughter walk about half a block to go to the restroom, and as they are walking by themselves, they are shouted at and fingers pointed and thrust into their chest saying, "We don't want your hate here. We don't want your kind here. Racist, bigots, haters."
Again, this uncivility, this hatred, this violence, this mindset needs to be called out. And, he's got security, but what if you don't have security? You need to, we're seeing a time when we actually have to go to like-minded groups to be safe. I hate to say it, but we're breaking up into classes and groups and to be safe. Not trick-or-treating or going on holiday or different places, but we're not safe out in the public, not like we used to be able to be safe, which shows that we are greatly breaking down as a society.
When we were walking out, by the time we got across the street, I looked at the security agents and I said, "Go back and get my daughter and her fiance. This is far too dangerous for them." My daughter was already in tears. She didn't know what to do when the security agents arrived and pulled them both into the car. So please, leftists, CNN, don't tell me how hard your life is. I know how hard your life is now, and no one should have to live through that. But what's happening to Tucker Carlson is not an isolated incident. It's been happening from the left for a very long time. And it goes beyond mean tweets. Your family is in danger, and it's only getting worse.
Again, we have to understand how severe this is getting even in this country. And if you have any popularity for conservatism, you better go with security or with other groups and security, because you could be knifed, you could be shot, you could be beaten up. This is not acceptable behavior. And this is not the country I grew up in, but it is a country that is becoming very vicious, very mean, and falling for the psychological warfare uh, against conservatives, against values, against Constitution, against our freedoms. Very scary times, socially speaking, politically speaking. And Roger Martin from Billings, Montana, take it for what it is, but be very careful about how popular you get, how conservative you are, and where you are, and who knows about you, and who and what you stand for. Again, Roger Martin from Billings, Montana. Good day.